The Return of the Leopard. 2 years later. Igala was not the village it once was. The vibrant colors of life had faded into muted tones of despair. Under Jabari's rule, it had become a stronghold of fear, where whispers of dissent were silenced by the sharp edge of a blade. The Leopard Clan, once protectors of their people, had transformed into oppressors, their hearts hardened by the intoxicating allure of power. The air was thick with tension, and the villagers moved like shadows, their eyes cast down, afraid to meet the gaze of their once brothers turned tyrants. But on one fateful night, a lone warrior returned. A figure rode into the heart of the battlefield. Cloaked in the shadows of the night, his stallion's black coat gleaming like obsidian under the pale moonlight. The sound of hooves echoed through the stillness, a heartbeat that quickened the pulse of the village. Warriors turned, eyes widening in disbelief. Some whispered his name in awe, while others trembled in fear, the memory of Arinze's defiance etched into their minds. "You are dead," Jabari growled, stepping forward from the ranks, his blade drawn and glinting ominously in the moonlight. His voice was laced with disbelief and anger, a desperate attempt to cling to the power he had usurped. Arinze dismounted with deliberate slowness, his eyes locked onto his rivals, a calm resolve radiating from him. "I have returned," he said simply, his voice steady and unwavering. "And this ends tonight." The atmosphere crackled with tension as the final battle erupted. Blades clashed, fists met flesh, and blood painted the earth, a grim reminder of the violence that had consumed Igala. But Arinze fought with a precision that had been sharpened by exile, by survival, and by purpose. Each movement was fluid, a dance of calculated strikes and evasive maneuvers. He had become a master of combat, his skills honed by the teachings of the Forgotten Tribes, where he had learned not just to fight, but to think strategically. As the chaos unfolded around him, Arinze's presence commanded attention. He moved like a shadow, striking with the ferocity of a leopard unleashed from captivity. One by one, Jabari's warriors fell, their loyalty wavering as they witnessed the truth of Arinze's strength and resolve. The fear that had once gripped their hearts began to dissolve, replaced by a flicker of hope. They saw in Arinze not just a warrior, but a leader who had returned to reclaim their dignity. And then, it was just the two of them. Jabari struck first, fast and wild, fueled by rage and desperation. But Arinze remained calm, his breath steady, his mind clear. He dodged Jabari's wild swings with ease, countering with calculated strikes that showcased the depth of his training. The years of exile had transformed him. He was no longer the impulsive warrior who had once fought for survival. He was a strategist, a tactician, and a man with a purpose. With a final, decisive movement, Arinze disarmed Jabari, sending his blade clattering to the ground. The sound echoed through the battlefield, a stark reminder of the shift in power. The warriors who had once followed Jabari now turned their backs on him, their loyalty crumbling like the very foundations of his reign. They had witnessed Arinze's strength, his unwavering resolve, and the truth of his purpose. Jabari's face twisted in disbelief as he stumbled back, the weight of his disgrace crashing down upon him. His reign had ended, not with death, but with the humiliation of being cast aside by those he had once commanded. The warriors who had once feared him now looked to Arinze, their eyes filled with a mixture of awe and newfound courage. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, Arinze stood tall, the embodiment of the Leopard Clan's true spirit. He had returned not just as a warrior, but as a leader ready to reclaim the heart of Igala. The shadows of fear that had loomed over the village began to lift, replaced by the promise of a new dawn. A dawn where the Leopard Clan would rise again, united in strength and purpose.